Hello guys, what is up? My name is Dylan. Welcome to the Popcorn Podcast. This is episode number 62. We are on another roll with new guests here. So this is 2 weeks in a row now. It's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. And today we are glad and proud to be welcoming Joe, the Mr. Dino Joe Reviews himself. So happy to be having you on the couch.
Oh mate, I'm honoured. Absolutely.
No, the honour's all mine, man. I mean, and also such a fun film to just get stuck into, essentially. Obviously, we've been following each other for a couple of months now, I want to say. I want to know, I was speaking to Craig briefly about this last week, 2 weeks ago, about how he essentially got into doing reviews and talking about films.
Yeah.
How was that process for you? When did this all start? And also, I've always wanted to ask you, why is your name Dino Joe Reviews? Tell us.
There is nothing special about it whatsoever. I was 12, 13, and it's a PlayStation or Xbox generated name. It's a combination of my birthday and then something that rhymed with Joe, essentially. And I thought, yeah, that sounds better.
Yeah.
But people remember it. So
yeah, no,
it
definitely.
It's my favour, I suppose. But when people call me Dino rather than Joe,
I realized on my way here that I did that to you. I literally, when I WhatsApped you for the first time, I said, "Hey Dino" instead of "Hey Joe." So like the two are like symbiotic at this point right now. But yeah, started talking about films. When exactly?
about a year ago.
Okay.
I think, maybe April, May last year. Properly.
Mm.
I've been in and around YouTube since I was about 10.
Yeah.
With various things. When Dude Perfect was first a thing, I tried my hand at trick shot videos.
Very nice.
Maybe quite good.
Yeah.
Absolutely shit.
Yeah.
And then nerdy stuff since before COVID. I was doing gaming bits, Comic-Cons, and my YouTube is mainly Comic-Con stuff.
Wow.
So I kind of fell into talking about films more because I was talking about pop culture and was going to events to meet and like-minded people.
Yeah.
So I kind of just fell into the community, and I went to my first screening or prem last year, and then spoke about it on TikTok. And I'd never really posted on TikTok except from like a meme or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of just met like-minded people.
Yeah.
It was just a way to talk about it because I'm from a very football background.
Yes. And speaking of football,
Mm-hmm.
do you want to tell the folks a little bit, because I haven't yet actually technically announced this, but who better to announce this than you? Do you want to tell the folks what's happening in, I would say, 2 months' time, just under 2 months' time?
Yeah, so we are doing a football charity tournament called Kick for a Cause with Film Talk, The Geekdom, loads of us.
All of us nerds in the space,
It's going to
essentially.
be so much fun. I've wanted to do something like this for a long time. Football's always been a huge part of my life for escapism, and so is film. So combining the two, getting all my friends involved, raising some money for a cause that's very close to my heart, which is Mind and the Bristol Children's Hospital's charity, which is Wallace and Gromit's Grand Appeal, which is obviously lovely for the film community too.
Yeah.
It's just a very nice way to give back. It'll be a good laugh.
Yeah.
Some people will take it very seriously, I imagine. Some probably won't. I'm just gonna have a laugh.
Dude, I'm coming there like I'm like Ronaldo or something. Honestly, I'm taking this dead serious. No, I don't know. We'll see.
There will be, but yeah, it'll be good to get everyone together.
Definitely.
Every event we've done where we've bumped into each other and our mutuals is always so much fun.
It is such fun. And I kind of had my first sort of experience with that a couple of weeks ago at the sort of Oscars party that Henry Calvert.
Couple of winners.
Has a couple of winners. Who knew? But yeah, essentially, I think it's a really nice time to be in this community as well. It's like growing more than ever now, and like you said, so many like-minded people, and sort of just we're all kind of in this space together, and we all love talking about movies and films and pop culture, like you say, and it's just I feel like it's a very, very safe and positive kind of space, I want to say. So
it's very progressive, I think.
Definitely.
When there's obviously you clash opinions over. I mean, opinion's different.
Yeah.
And people do clash, and it is funny when people clash. But I think people are very respectful of each other's opinions, so they'll clash, but they'll go, "Yeah, I understand you, but you're wrong."
Yeah.
But that's quite funny. You don't really get that in other stuff.
Yeah.
You have a clash of opinions, and it's very, very opinionated.
Definitely.
People fall out. When this, they're just like brush it off. And, okay, you're wrong, but okay.
Yeah. I was. We will get on into some quickfire questions in a sec, but we were joking. I was joking with Sandy and Eli about the upcoming charity tournament, and we were just basically saying, this is just an opportunity to like slide tackle people we don't like in the space. Not that there is anyone, but okay. Well, Yeah, that was nice. Thank you for that intro, and we will leave all the respective links in the description box below, and definitely get on with those promotions in the next kind of 2 months or so. But of course, Joe, you know how we start off every single episode with a new guest. Of course, just to kind of get to know you a little bit better, your film taste, what makes you tick as a film fan. I'm gonna throw you some quick fire questions. Are you ready?
I am indeed. Let's
Fantastic. Go. So first up, what is your favorite film?
King Creole, Elvis Presley.
Very, very nice. I think I saw that on your Letterboxd top 4. Yeah,
I love it. It means a lot to me.
Yeah,
watched it growing up constantly.
Very nice.
My nan and granddad loved it. My mum loves it. My mum's called Lisa Marie. Before Lisa Marie.
Wow, she's the OG.
Yeah, the OG. So yeah, it's always been a big part, and I love it. The music in it's incredible.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Yeah.
Great
Wonderful. What is a film that makes you laugh?
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is the only film, except from Step Brothers.
Okay.
The only film that makes me laugh every time I watch it. I'm a big comedy guy.
Yeah.
So a lot of films I watch once and I'll laugh during it, and then I won't laugh
Yeah.
again. I kind of sit there going, smiling at the camera, smiling at the screen. Sorry, and that's about it.
Yeah.
It's National Lampoon's every year. I could watch it every year, and it's like the first time.
Very nice. Very
amazing.
Nice. What is a film that makes you cry?
Coco, but recently there's been a couple recently.
Ooh.
A film that we've both watched this week.
Yes.
The Hans Zimmer Diamond.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Cried my eyes out. Every time there was a score, well, most of the scores, but Gladiator especially, I was shaking.
Yeah. Can I ask you, have you seen Hans live?
No, I'm trying to get
tickets. Because he's doing the Next Level later this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I assume they're sold out at this point, but I'm sure that there'll be some floating around, maybe in the coming months or so. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know this about me, because I said it a couple of times on the pod before, but like I'm essentially a super fan, and went to see Diamond in the Desert this week, of course, and just straight up chills. Did you go to the BFI for that? Oh my god,
that genuinely is one of the maddest experiences of my life.
And obviously Hans was there, right?
Yeah. Craig hooked me up with a ticket.
Wow.
Shout out to Craig's Reviews.
Yeah.
For the ticket.
Shout out to Craig.
Amazing. And it was just so bizarre. We showed up, went upstairs. Got our ticket, and as we're getting our ticket, Jerry Bruckheimer just walks past on his own. A billionaire just strolling around. And no one has a clue. No one's like,
that's
noticing.
The thing.
I'm stood there like, oh my god.
Yeah.
This guy's like produced some of the
Top
best
Gun, Pirates, just
ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Then went upstairs into the foyer where the concession stand is. Denis Villeneuve just stood there.
Oh my god.
He's just there. He wasn't meant to be there. Was just there.
Wow.
And then Hans is taking pictures, and we're about 2 meters away, and we were both just jaws on the floor. And then they sat there and watched it. I assumed he was just going to show up.
Yeah.
As soon as the film finishes, watch 20 minutes, because they've been promoting it.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah. Because obviously Denis is in the thing itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Incredible experience. Met Denis, said hello. Craig got a Dune 2 poster signed.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
Dude, this is such I'm so jealous, man. That's crazy. Oh man. I mean, I've seen Hans and I've seen Denis live, as in Denis surprised us one time at one of the, like, there was an IMAX screening for Dune back in 2021, and he sort of came and did a Q&A at the end. It was insane. And then Hans as well, I've seen him a couple of times live, but obviously never in this kind of proximity. Sorry, this episode has now just turned into a Hans Zimmer Denis for the tribute. But yeah, man, that's so cool. That's so sick, man. Yeah, wow, I'm so jealous.
I got home at like 3 a.m. on Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
And the whole way home, I thought I was going to be absolutely knackered driving back, but the whole way back,
just
I must
full
have
of adrenaline.
Mental
yeah.
I was just like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, man, crazy.
That is insane. Oh man. Anyways, moving on. What is a film you think is underrated?
Tower Heist. I love that film. I absolutely love it.
It's good fun.
I love Ben Stiller. Sequel Life of Ultimate is on par with King Creole for me. It's like right on the verge. I think it is the definition of hopecore. And that sort of that was the 2012, so a year before.
Yeah,
he was on a good run, I think.
He was, yeah, and the cast of that is pretty amazing. It was Eddie
Casey
Murphy,
Affleck, crazy.
because I remember when I was in school, that was like one of the new DVDs that I got, and I remember like the last day of school, the teacher would let you watch a film. So I was always the guy who brought in like 60 years of DVDs to choose from. And Tower Heist, I remember one time, and we put it on it, and it was just sort of had the entire class laughing. It was brilliant. Yeah. What is a film you think is overrated?
The Hurt Locker.
Oh, okay.
I like it. I just don't think it's
Best Picture.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Like you could say the same about Green Book, but I actually personally like Green Book.
I like both films. I think Green Book is like a nice sort of.
Yeah, if it hadn't have won Best Picture, I don't think people would care.
Exactly.
But I think people like to hate on it because it won.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Vigo's one of my favorite working actors. I mean,
Mr. Mortensen. Yeah. What is your favorite or one of your favorite performances in a film?
There's two that come to mind. One's a bit of a random one. Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over I think is the best performance of all time, potentially.
Wow.
I think it is incredible. Every time I watch it, it's jaw-dropping.
Brilliant.
But the first one that comes to mind, weirdly, is Dom Gleeson in About Time. It floors me. It floors me.
He's such an underrated actor as well.
Yeah.
He is. He really is. Yeah. I always love him and Bill Nighy in that film. Yeah. Fantastic film as well. What is a bad film that you love?
Norbit.
Norbit
is terrible, but I love it. That's another one that I could easily say for Make Me Laugh.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Nice. What is your biggest film ick or red flag?
When someone has Leon in their top 4.
Oh, okay.
I don't agree with it.
You're not a fan of the film?
No, well, it's not so much the film. It's the relationship between the two of them. Natalie Portman.
Okay. It's the elephant in the room. Sure.
Yeah, and it's just people know it and they defend it. It's like,
yeah,
really, it's a bit like Joker. It's that sort of thing.
Yeah,
like
this is the thing because Pulp Kitchen podcast, George from there recently did a sort of retrospect review on Crazy Stupid Love, and he said how it hasn't aged. I love that film.
I watched it like 2 months ago.
I
think it's aged fine.
Yeah, and he one of his criticisms was I can't remember the girl's name, but she's obviously in love with Steve Carell, and it's like obviously there's a huge age gap there, but I mean Leon fares. I've seen it a couple times. Fair enough.
There's something about it. It doesn't sit right.
Yeah, Gary Oldman in that film is brilliant.
Yeah, the performances are great.
Yeah.
It's just
What is your biggest film green flag?
When someone has Secret Life of Mitty
or
Cinema Paradiso in their top 4.
Very
if someone's seen Cinema Paradiso and it's immediately going near the top.
Yeah. One of the greatest scores as well of all time, Ennio Morricone.
It's ridiculous.
So good. Speaking of which, what is your favorite film score?
Gladiator. Yeah. Cemented this week, but listening to Now We're Free.
Yeah.
Just makes me cry.
Yeah, when I went to see Hans live a couple of times, Lisa Gerrard, obviously the voice of Gladiator, you get like transported into a different world. It's unreal. Fantastic choice there. Horror or comedy?
Comedy.
Sci-fi or fantasy?
Fantasy.
Blockbuster or indie?
At the minute, indie, but generally speaking, blockbuster. Yeah.
What's a film you wish you watched in the cinema?
Originally, on first release, I wish I was old enough to have watched The Lord of the Rings or appreciate it properly. But Parasite, didn't see Parasite in cinema. It's great film to see in cinema. I remember I saw like 3 films that in one day when I went to see Parasite, and it cleared. I think it was Parasite, and then I watched Birds of Prey, and then The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse was great. That is a mix.
That was
great,
in the same 24 hours. Yeah. And who is a director that you want to watch more of?
Sean Baker. I've only seen The Florida Project and Anora.
Nice.
And Craig speaks about him.
Yeah, Craig's a big fan of him. So Joe, if you were stuck on a desert island, what 4 films would you take with you?
Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Because if you're on desert island, you need some hope core, and that is definition. That would keep
you going,
daydreaming and thinking about life. The Goonies. I don't think I feel as good about life after watching any film than The Goonies. I'm just in a good mood.
You heard they're doing a sequel?
Yeah.
Are they doing a sequel? I think they are, right? Oh, gosh.
Yeah, Warner Brothers. Yeah.
We'll see.
Another one that's doing a sequel, probably Coco.
Yes, I saw this the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, just for the importance of family.
Yeah.
To keep me positive on the island. But yeah, another sequel. There's just what's the point? Toy Story 2.
Very
Toy
nice.
Story 2. Best sequel of all time, by the way.
You think so?
Yep.
Damn. To be fair, it's up there. It's for sure up there, definitely. And finally, Joe, my last question for you is: what is your most anticipated film of 2025?
I think F1 now. I would have said Superman, but there's something about comic book movies at the minute. It's just not appealing. The more I watch of like older stuff, yeah. I'm looking. I will be sat opening night for Fantastic Four, Superman.
Yeah.
Even Thunderbolts, but I'm not. I can't say I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm not, actively.
But I think that's actually the best way to go into them. Is like now, like because we've had so many comic book films, we've had so many disappointing ones recently as well. I guess it's sort of tied to the way I watch films now. It's like I really don't watch trailers anymore.
No.
So I like try and go in as blind as possible. And if it's amazing, if it's surprisingly good, there you go. You get the ride out of it.
I enjoyed Companion because I'd not seen the trailer.
Yes.
I actively.
So you didn't know about the twist?
No. If you knew about it,
yeah,
you're waiting for it. The same as I think I'd have enjoyed Brave New World so much more if I'd not watched anything. You are waiting for almost 2 hours for Red Hulk to show up.
Exactly.
But if you've not seen anything advertisement wise,
you
don't know, and you're like, oh, is he gonna? Is he?
Yeah.
But because ruins it.
There you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed that round of quickfire questions. It wasn't so quickfire, but we move. Of course, Joe, the reason you're on the couch today, one of the reasons, of course, is to break down and review Novocaine, which is, of course, this new action comedy romance that hasn't yet been released in the UK as of when we're recording this, but we have both seen this film. I wanted to ask you, firstly, what you kind of heard about the film beforehand, if you had heard much. Were you excited for the film going in, and when did you watch this film originally?
I watched it a week ago. I watched it Saturday, so I was due to watch it at the multimedia screening. I went to go watch a secret screening.
Of course, at Cineworld, right? Yeah.
So I thought it was going to be Snow White, and if it was, I was going to walk out of that bag.
Have you ever walked out of a Cineworld secret screening?
No.
Okay.
No, but if it was Snow White, I probably would have done. Black Bag was showing half hour later.
Yeah.
But when it came up with Novocaine, I was like, oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's 2 weeks ahead of schedule. Yeah.
It's
good for you, Cineworld. Yeah. Got that one in right nice and early.
I think they did the same with Companion, but I didn't see
Yes.
So, yeah, quite early.
Yeah. So you saw it at the secret screening. I saw it 2 nights ago at the Paramount multimedia screening. Which was a lot of fun. They had like some really cool photo ops there and whatnot. So it was a nice event, and saw some of the other creators as well. Said hi to them. But I don't know about you, but I didn't. I mean, the only thing I knew about this film was sort of the general premise is a guy who can't feel pain. It's an action sort of comedy starring Jack Quaid, and that was about it. I closed my eyes for trailers in the cinemas for it. I stayed away completely. I don't know if you did the same.
Did the same.
Yeah, and all the better for it, I want to say.
Yeah, I think the only thing I'd seen beforehand that was Jack Quaid.
Yeah.
Couldn't feel pain, and that it was a love interest. I thought it was his partner. Turns out not so much, really. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
I knew going in, and as you say, much better time for it. I think.
Definitely. I think the pair of us would probably say like just don't watch the trailers and just go into it. Maybe hopefully as blind as possible, and definitely don't continue watching this episode if you haven't seen it, because we are going to be talking spoilers. So before we get into all of that, I'm going to do like a quick plot synopsis and we just get the breakdown going. So Nathan Kane, played of course by Jack Quaid, is a person who, due to a medical condition, cannot feel pain. When the girl of his dreams, played by Amber Midthunder, is kidnapped, Nathan's inability to feel pain becomes an unexpected strength as he fights to get her back. The film is directed by Dan Burke, Robert Olson, and stars Jack Quaid, Amber Midthunder, Ray Nicholson, and Jacob Batalon, amongst others. Okay, Joe, let's get chatting about Novocaine. So, straight up, what are your thoughts walking out of Novocaine? What were you feeling? Were you on a high? Were you disappointed? Tell me.
I had a lot of fun, genuinely, I'm missing 3 or 4 new releases.
Yeah.
It's the most fun I've had in the cinema this year.
Yeah.
By a long way. I thought Mickey 17 would have been the most fun I'd had. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I was pleasantly surprised. Jack Quaid, you kind of know what he brings.
Yeah.
I think everything he's in is similar so far.
Yeah.
Ray Nicholson, was stand out for me. I was really surprised.
Yeah.
Very, very good villain. Actually, do you know what it felt like watching this film? It felt like watching. Have you ever seen the original pilot of The Inbetweeners when it was called Carrier Bags or something?
I haven't seen the original pilot. Love The Inbetweeners.
James Buckley plays Neil, and it's a bit like watching that, but for the boys. That's what this film feels like. Feels like the boys.
It does
pilot.
have a very like
Do you know what I mean?
what's the word? Harsh kind of bad mouth energy to it, like the boys. I 100% get what you're saying.
It was a lot more brutal than I was expecting. There was a lot of wincing in the cinema. Ooh, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it because it was like watching the boys, which I love.
Yeah,
and Jack Quaid is
great,
similar in it, and he's very, very good. But yeah, Ray Nicholson was great.
Yeah, I mean, I will second you on that. I had a blast watching the film. I think going in, I was a little hopeful because I was like, you know what, I like Jack Quaid. I've seen him in a couple of things. Obviously, The Boys is I'm a big fan of, and recently Companion. Yeah. He does have a lot of charm and charisma to him, and he's seemingly like at the sort of start of his career, I want to say, even though I'm sure he's been doing this for a while. I think he was in the original Hunger Games as well, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Playing a completely different character. I really like Jack Quaid, and I thought, like, you know what, this is an interesting and original enough high action premise, and I'm like, we could potentially be looking at at the very least a fun time and a really enjoyable film, and that's exactly what it was. I had such a blast watching this. And like you said about sort of wincing and whatnot, and sort of going on to the violence of it, I would definitely say like one of the best aspects of the film is just straight up the premise of it is, this guy who has his condition, he can't feel pain. And for me, what I found interesting about it was how the film, it is very violent at times. It's not afraid to show the literal violence, whether that be someone's nails getting pulled out, or some hot oil or coffee on their hands, or whatever it might be. But what I thought was quite interesting, and I'm not sure what you think about this, but I want to get your take on it, is the idea of like how much of us, when we watch violent films or action films, how much of our reaction comes from the literal act of showing the violence, and how much of it comes from whether or not we know the character experiences that pain. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think it depends on what it is. There was. I think they did a really good job of having like a really big comedic side of it.
Yes.
Like the sequence in the bungalow. That's hilarious, and you don't care, like, getting shot in the leg.
Yeah.
In the back.
That was one of my favorite moments.
The mace in the back.
Yeah, the torture scene is what you're talking about. Yeah.
But then with the nails especially, I think they did a really good job of switching it up from, it's still comedic, but where it's something so grim as nails being extracted.
Yeah.
That makes nails and teeth.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that switched it up. So you're still laughing at him, but at the same time you're like, oh. And
I'm laughing, but I don't know if I should be laughing, kind of thing. Yeah. No.
That was my favorite aspect of the film, I think, is that it was could switch on you at any point.
Yeah.
I was expecting just to have a good time, laugh at him experiencing pain, not feeling pain, but experiencing it, and then just seeing how that played out.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect.
The premise is very like sort of black and white. Like, it can, 1 minute you're like wincing, the other minute you're laughing. Like literally in like a split second, like your emotions immediately change. And it was that kind of the spontaneity of your kind of emotions being played around with that much was partly why this film was like really enjoyable and really unique and interesting to kind of experience, I would say. I want to say, we did briefly just mention, but Jack Quaid as well. I think one of, if not the best aspect of this film, I think his performance is fantastic. And you mentioned like you sort of got a sort of feel of The Boys here with him, because obviously in that in that show he does play a very kind of down on his luck kind of guy as well. I thought the way this film kind of introduced his character, you get to kind of see his sort of daily routine. He goes in the shower and there's like tape there that stops. So yeah, I thought that was all really done and set up really well. Amber Midthunder though, had you seen her in anything before?
Yeah, I've seen her in Prey.
Yeah.
Something else that's just not coming to my head.
Yeah.
I thought she was okay. I think it was just a good job.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's anything spectacular. yeah, Jack and Ray definitely elevate the film. She's kind of like caught in the middle really.
Yeah,
very good performances, I think.
Yeah, I mean I really liked her, but because I thought it was crucial that the film that you bought into their relationship for the entire film to essentially work. I mean, his main motivation is to basically get her back, and I thought the two of them had really good chemistry for the few scenes that they had sort of towards the beginning of the film, and they really sold that quite well. For me, the only thing I would say about Amber Midthunder is coming off seeing her from Prey. I know how much of a sort of fierce physical actor she is.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to have seen her do a bit more in that department for sure, like especially towards the end.
I thought towards the end it was gonna get more physical.
Yeah.
And I was expecting that to happen. So when it didn't, I was okay with it because of the way it ran.
Yeah.
But I thought she was gonna have a bigger part in the final act for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. I completely second you on that. I think sort of stepping into kind of the mixed aspects for me, I thought I mean, since we're still on the topic of her character, I thought what would have been, looking back on it, what would have been really good was if the film hadn't revealed the twist so early.
Yeah.
I thought they should have potentially done it in the third act or closer to the kind of grand finale, because then you still have, there's a sense of tension there maintained because you do think that she's genuinely in jeopardy.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's all. It definitely changes the stakes when he's getting tortured because by that point, where if you don't, you care more about him, like time ticking. He's constantly saying, "Oh, he's only got so long, he's gonna die," but you know that she's never in danger.
Yeah.
So if they revealed it when he finds out and we find out with him that they're siblings, I think that would have been crazy. Yeah,
no, definitely. I think I want to get into the sort of final act in a little bit, but you did mention Mr. Ray Nicholson. Do you want to talk a little bit about him and what he brought to the film for you?
Just it was very, very surprising performance-wise. I've not seen the Smile films, but I could recognise his smile from somewhere.
Yeah.
Obviously, he looks spitting image of his dad.
Yeah, he does.
But he was very, very good, very menacing. The opening or his introduction with the bank robbery is brilliant, and that was sort of where the stakes changed for me, how brutal that was. I thought it was just going to be everyone get down, very Prison Break or even Dark Knight, where you don't really see anything too drastic. When you see literally the manager getting executed and it is graphic, it's like, whoa, okay, this is dark for something that seems like it's going to be quite a lighthearted comedy with a play on pain. And I really liked it. And then his relationship with his colleagues, I suppose you could call them, and then his sister, I thought were great. Really, really good. Very surprised. Especially after I went through his filmography, because I've not seen him in anything to my knowledge. And I was surprised this is probably the biggest thing he's been in, except for Smile.
Yeah.
It's definitely his biggest role.
Definitely, yeah. When I saw him, I was like, that's Jack's kid. Yeah. Because, like you said, spitting image of his dad. And, like, first off the bat, I think a lot of people, I mean, again, an actor who's seemingly at the start of his kind of career and, moving upwards very quickly. But, of course, you are naturally just going to get a lot of people who are, are going to compare him to his dad, who is one of the greats. He's literally your favorite, one of your favorite performances ever in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But I agree with you. I think he was very menacing. I think he does a lot of physical acting with his face, especially. And to see him sort of just execute bank managers, etc., and be a character who isn't afraid to really get his kind of hands dirty, gave the film an additional element of, holy shit, if this kind of messes up, you're gonna die. Like, he's not afraid to, just because he's got a sister, just because he's got this family relationship in here. He's just, he's as they put it, a person who has changed, and he's no longer that person. Yeah. I will say I don't know if I completely agree with you about the whole the bank scene in particular. I thought it was good, and I guess this is kind of my main overall criticism of the film. I feel like the film still could have gone further. I feel like when I was watching the film, I was really enjoying myself, and I was laughing, and I was wincing, and I was literally being conducted by the film, essentially, as you're supposed to as an audience when you're going into a film like this. But for me, I felt like the premise is the thing that is really pushing the film. And for me, I think the film really kind of lacks a creative vision.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell it's by, I mean, I haven't really seen much from, I think it's Dan Burke and Robert Olson, but you can kind of tell from, well, at least I could, the way I felt was they don't quite have the confidence to push this premise to its max for me. I still feel like they could have dialed it up to 11 a bit more. I kind of like my perfect sort of vision for this film, if I could have gone back and redone it, would be something like, for sort of the creative flair of you get like something like out of a David Leitch film, like from sort of like a Bullet Train, kind of that kind of color saturation and the editing and the sharpness and the movement of the camera. Movement of the camera wise, I don't know if you know Lee Winnell, who's done films like The Invisible Man, Upgrade, like the way he's able to like pivot the camera. There were moments in this film that I saw and I was like, this is promising. But for me, I think they played it a bit safe for me. I think I would have really liked to have seen the filmmaking to have a bit more of a personality. But naturally, they are still there. I don't know if they've done too many films before. I don't think they have. So yeah, that was kind of my main sort of overall thing. I thought the sort of the style and the sense of vision could have gone a step further. That was for me. But yeah, I don't know if you.
That's sort of where I could see the comparisons between. I was making the comparisons between the boys because it did feel like watching a condensed series to an extent rather than a film, because of the camera work was okay. It wasn't any, as you say, it's nothing groundbreaking. It's just a good action comedy flick. It's nothing crazy. It's one of those films that I'm glad I watched at the cinema. I've had a good experience watching it at the cinema. I'm in no hurry to rewatch it at home, because the experience watching it on a bigger screen definitely elevated it. But if I watched it at home, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's nothing great. I think it was a little bit long, to an extent, maybe like 10 minutes too long.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bits that need more fleshing out.
Definitely. Yeah, I completely agree. I did think that the whole sort of the brother sister twist wasn't like, the potential of that wasn't it felt like a bit throwaway, as opposed to really using that sort of idea and kind of, you know, really driving some sort of emotion from it, because it was just like, oh, you know, she's
explanation.
Yeah, like
the explanation of her, or it could just be a story you don't know.
Yeah.
Of when she's younger in a foster family. So you don't know whether it's her actual brother or a foster brother or what's going on in their life. It was just a bit of a throwaway, like, you were my sister.
I definitely feel like the script could have done a bit more work, or had a bit more work. I want to say, like, a couple more drafts. I would have said that it could have. I did feel like, I don't know if this was just me as well, but like the way that so Jack Quaid's character moves through the film and like the way he progresses does feel very kind of, it almost feels like a video game, in the sense of like he's making it to this location, there's this baddie, he's making it to this location, is this baddie, and until we get to Ray Nicholson at the end. So it did feel like checkpoints, as opposed to like one kind of big ride, I want to say. That's kind of sort of my critique with, I want to say, with the script there. But yeah, going back to Ray Nicholson, I think he's looking like a really promising actor.
Yeah.
I know you said you hadn't seen the Smile films, but he's literally in like one scene in Smile 2. Very, very good and creepy scene, because it's literally it's essentially his face and he's basically just smiling. And the uncanniness to Jack Nicholson, specifically from The Shining, was like insane. It was like looking in a mirror, genuinely. Yeah. I had a really good time with the film. Another really standout scene for me, I don't know about you, but was the tattoo artist sort of Nazi torture. It wasn't a torture scene, but the fight between the two of them there. I thought that was quite creative.
Yeah, I liked how they played on him being bigger than him, and it wasn't just a standard thing. It was still funny. Where a lot of times when you see that in film and someone's a lot bigger than another guy, it's very like, oh yeah, this again. But it was funny. The tattoo aspect. I don't know if you've got any tattoos.
I don't yet. No.
Okay, so
tell me.
So when you see him just starting to go ham on his neck and stuff, after experience, tattoos aren't painful in my opinion.
Okay.
They're like a cat scratch.
Yeah.
But that is because they're done by a professional and very delicate to an extent.
Oh my god.
Seeing that being brutal, basically being stabbed, but whilst you've got a dozen needles going at a stupid man up and oh my god, I was that probably
a new fear unlocked.
That made me cringe the most.
Oh my gosh.
I really like that scene. I think all the sort of hand-to-hand combat was really good. Even though that part's in the trailer with the glass, that is the only bit I have seen previously when I've walked into a screening, because they seem to show that bit quite heavily.
Yeah.
They go, "Oh, you're not Wolverine."
Yeah.
He's got the glass. I thought that was really good.
That was really good. Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing as well. Like, even though you know he can't feel pain, just the idea of seeing that does kind of make you go, like, send shivers down. But yeah, I think all in all though, decent film. I think I would recommend for sure.
I would definitely see it in the cinema.
Fun night out of the cinemas for sure. Yeah, good stuff.
It's a date night film.
Definitely. And this is like the second date night film with Jack Quaid, man. This guy's out here stealing girls.
The only thing I will say about it that kind of sells it away in a little bit, he must have been down bad. He's known her properly for 12 hours, and then he's willing to go on a killing rampage. Yeah. Must have been a great evening. Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, it was like a nice meet cute. Like it was a good. Like you said, it was like 12 hours, but weirdly enough, you buy into that because the two of them have such great chemistry. Yeah, it was a good time. It was definitely a good time. I'm excited to see all these actors return. Also, Jacob Batalon is in this film. He is kind of playing Ned Leeds again. Literally. He's playing the same guy. There was a lot of people playing similar roles. Like, it was like the cops. Even Jack Quaid to an extent is very similar to Huey, just in a different sort of format. Yes. But it's very similar. And he literally was playing Ned. Yeah. It was exactly the same thing. Starts via phone call, PlayStation or whatever. Yeah. And that's similar to Ned in Homecoming. In Homecoming, yeah. And then all of a sudden shows up and it's that very like clumsy, like really slapstick comedy, which it works for him. Yeah. To be fair. But he's very good at it. It's nothing. Yeah. When you're going to mention names from the film, you're not going to mention his name unless you're deep diving into it, really. No, I agree. I also think his character as well was like, the script is like really lazy. So when they can't think of a way to get Jack Quaid out of a situation, they're like, oh yeah, we just got this guy will just come and do it. Yeah, he will just show up. What was it? And he was like looking at his watch, waiting for him to show up. This guy who he's never met. Mm-hmm. He's believing the whole time that he's going to show up, and he does show up. But you're like, okay, that was a bit too easy. But hey, yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought it was a really good time at the cinema, and recommend checking it out. Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Well, guys, that was our review of Novocaine. If you have seen the film, do let us know what you thought of it down below in the comments section, whether you loved it, whether you didn't love it so much. We are now, of course, going to go on to some games. How are you feeling? I'm feeling okay. Fantastic. Okay. We'll see. Give me 5 minutes. Well, we've got 3 games lined up for you, Joe. Beautiful. The first of which is a nice little warm-up game, I want to say, and this is somewhat. I genuinely don't like stealing games from other sort of podcasts or whatever, but I'm such a big fan of the Pulp Kitchen podcast, and these guys do such a great job with the games. And I am going to borrow their idea for this game. Hope you guys don't mind, George and James. Thanks so much. But essentially, I am going to throw you some lead character names from action films. Oh. And I don't know how good you are with character names in films, but you're going to try and tell me what film the lead character is from. So some of these I want to say are pretty straightforward, it's pretty easy. I want to say they ramp up in difficulty, but we will see how you fare. So, Joe, can you guess the action film from the lead character name? First up we have Ethan Hunt. Mission Impossible. Oh my god, Dominic Toretto. Fast and Furious. Firmly. Sam Witwicky. Transformers. The goat. Ladies Man. Yeah, Ladies Man 217. Sarah Connor. Terminator. The protagonist. Oh, I don't know. I'll kick myself, I know that. But it's not coming to mind straight away. Any guesses whatsoever? No. The protagonist. Not a scuba. So that's Tenet. That's the lowest on my Nolan, I think. Tenet. Oh, okay. Jake Sully. Avatar. Eggsy. Kingsman. Dom Cobb. Dom Oh no, it's ringing a bell, but I can't think of it.
Any guesses?
Not a clue.
So that is Inception. That is Leonardo DiCaprio's character. So it's the Nolan films for you.
That's disgraceful.
Up next, we have Beatrice Kiddo. Any ideas?
Not a Scooby-Doo.
So that's Kill Bill.
I'm having a stinker. Tarantino, Scorsese, and Nolan are my top 3 as well.
Oh, gosh. Well, maybe let's see if we can redeem ourselves then. Okay, so up next, we have Tony Montana.
Oh, Scarface. Best poster of all time.
Thomas A. Anderson.
Mind blank. And I'm...
What if I said Mr. Anderson?
Yeah, it's just annoying me. Oh, my God.
So that is The Matrix.
It is.
Up next, we have Neil McCauley.
I actually don't know.
So that is Heat. That is Robert De Niro's character. Up next, we have Brian Mills.
Oh, no.
These are getting trickier.
They are indeed.
Any ideas?
Not a clue, mate.
That's Taken. That's Liam Neeson's character in Taken. Brian Mills.
Brian Mills. I knew it was Brian. I could not tell you nor money his surname.
Up next, we have Dave Liszewski.
Again, just not ringing a bell.
So that's Kick-Ass. Up next, we have Tyler Rake. Any ideas whatsoever? These are really hard at this point now.
Not a Scooby-Doo.
That's Extraction. So that's Hemsworth's character from Extraction.
I actually like Extraction.
Yes.
I actually do.
Good action. Mike Banning.
I do know Mike Banning.
These are all action films.
Yeah, that's going to really annoy me because I recognise the name, but I cannot put the face to it. No.
That's Olympus Has Fallen. Okay, we got 3 left. So we got Robert McCall.
Mm-hmm.
I will say he does not look like a Robert McCall. Probably not helpful, but
I don't know, mate.
So that's The Equalizer. It's Denzel and The Equalizer.
To
be fair, I don't think
I love the first 2.
Yeah.
The first one's brilliant. I hate Equalizer 3. I hate it.
Rick O'Connell.
Oh, the Mummy.
There we go. We're back.
Go.
And finally, we have Colt Severs or Colt Severs.
I do know this one. I do, but it's just not ringing a bell.
So this is, I'll give you a clue. This is last year.
Mm-hmm.
Action film last year.
Colt
Severs.
Is it a big film? Should I have
Pretty
seen
big.
it?
I think you've definitely seen it.
Okay.
The Fall Guy. So that's Ryan Gosling and The Fall Guy.
Forgettable.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, that was our first game. How'd you find that?
Oh, I obviously went extremely well.
I think you got a good amount there. I mean, it was only sort of towards the end where we got the difficulty level like right up there. But yeah, names, especially in action films.
I'm very good at naming actors in films. Like if I am watching an actor in a certain project, I go, "Oh, did you know they were in that?" Very good at that. But I'm terrible at names in films. Very bad.
Well, hold that thought because we've got a game coming up in a little bit, to do with actors. However, we've got game number 2 now. So, Joe. So, of course, Jack Quaid is famously the son of Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid. Ray Nicholson is famously the son of Jack Nicholson. So, I want to know, can you guess the Nepobaby parents?
Oh.
So, I'm going to give you some Nepo babies in Hollywood. I'm actually kind of proud of this one. I'm going to give you some Nepo babies. Just a disclaimer. Nepo babies definitely have seemed to have had a negative connotation because a lot of people just think they've got their fame and stardom and roles from, well, their parents, their relatives. It's not the case. We've got a lot of great Nepo babies out there who work ridiculously hard. So a lot of whom I am going to mention right now. So I'm going to throw you some names and you're going to tell me whether or not can you guess the Nepo baby parents. Okay, so first up, we've got John David Washington.
Denzel.
Denzel's correct. Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, I do. I know it, but I do not know their names. But I can see their faces. Do not know their names.
So she is the daughter of Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz.
Mm-hmm.
Just a heads up though before we continue. Most of these are parents. They're occasional families. Some of them are not directly parents.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, we've got Maya Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
Do you know who her mum is?
No. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do. I can see her face. It's not. It's Kill Bill, isn't it? It's Kill. Yeah.
Uma Thurman.
Uma
Yeah.
Thurman,
Yeah, we'll give you that. Up next we have Scott Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood.
Pretty easy, yeah. Emma Roberts.
Julia Roberts.
Correct. We have Alexander and Bill Skarsgård.
Skarsgård. Can't think of his name.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Stellan.
The Baron Harkonnen, yeah. Lily Collins.
Oh, I don't know.
Not an actor.
I don't know.
So Lily Collins is the daughter of Phil Collins.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Maybe this game's going to be educational as well.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. Up next, we have Wyatt Russell.
Kurt Russell. Big Kurt and Goldie.
Goldie. Yeah, Goldie Hawn. Up next, we have Liv Tyler.
Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
Not sure what her mother is.
Yeah, I'm not sure her mum is either. Yeah. Up next, we have Bryce Dallas Howard.
Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Rogue One.
Yeah.
No, not Rogue.
Not Rogue
Solo.
One.
Solo. Wasn't
So-
it? Yeah.
Solo. Yeah. And she's directed Mandalorian episodes as
Yeah,
well.
and Skeleton Crew she did.
Yeah.
Mm.
We've got Laura Dern next.
That's another one I do know because, during the Last Jedi, I remember.
Bruce Dern.
Yeah.
Margaret Qualley.
What's her surname? Andy. Can't think of her last
McDowell.
name. McDowell. That's
Andy McDowell, yeah. Angelina Jolie.
John Vaught.
That is correct, yeah. Up next we have Riley Keough.
Oh, I don't know, but I feel like I do.
You might kick yourself out. Or you might not even know. Who knows?
I feel like I do, but I don't. Yeah.
So Riley Keough is the eldest granddaughter
Mm.
of Elvis Presley.
What a
There you go. Our last Nepo baby is Nicolas Cage.
I actually don't know.
So the Nepo baby, or the parents aren't actually parents,
Mm-hmm.
but they're relatives of sorts.
Yes.
Any ideas?
No.
So Nicolas Cage is the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola.
Is he really?
He is indeed. So Nicolas Cage's dad is called August Coppola, and Nicolas Cage changed his name from Coppola to Cage.
I did not know that. That's
Crazy. There you
crazy.
go. There you go. Well, that was game number 2. That was
That was
pretty. That was alright. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I was hoping for an easy Lily Rose Depp, but you know.
No, I mean that. Yeah, that was too obvious. But yeah. And now we move on to our third and final game, Joe. Here we go. So we are ending with a podcast classic. So we are going to play Guess the Imposter in the cast.
Lovely.
Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds of this. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So first up we have Mark Ruffalo, Daniel Day-Lewis, Michelle Williams, and Ben Kingsley.
Mark Ruffalo, maybe? No?
So that's incorrect. So the imposter in that cast is Daniel Day-Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea what the film is?
Not
So
really.
Mark Ruffalo, Michelle Williams, Ben Kingsley. So that is Shutter Island. Off to a good start. Let's go. Let's go. Up next, we have Anya Taylor-Joy, Taylor Swift, Margot Robbie, Mia Goth.
Is Anya Taylor-Joy and Barbie?
She's not.
Is it not Barbie?
It's not Barbie.
Is it?
So that is, the film is Amsterdam. So
Never seen it.
no, not seen it. Okay, fair enough then. So yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy, Taylor Swift, and Margot Robbie are all in Amsterdam. Mia Goth is not in Amsterdam, so she's the imposter. There you go. Up next we have John Bernthal,
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Kaluuya, Keanu Reeves, Josh Brolin. These are tricky.
I feel like whatever it is, I've seen it.
I think you've probably seen it as well.
Could you repeat?
Yeah, of course. So John Bernthal, Daniel Kaluuya, Keanu Reeves, and Josh Brolin.
The only one that kind of sticks out is Keanu Reeves, so I'll roll with Keanu Reeves.
That is correct, yeah. So any idea what the film might be?
Absolutely not.
So that is Sicario.
Is it?
Yeah. To be fair, Daniel Kaluuya and John Bernthal in it very minimally, I want to say. So,
Josh Brolin,
yeah. But you got that one right.
Big up Denis.
Yeah, big up Denis. Up next, we have Scarlett Johansson, Adam Driver, Robert Downey Jr., and Sofia Vergara.
I'm trying to think if I remember Adam Driver in anything with Scarjo. I can't think of anything. Maybe. I'll say Adam Driver, but I don't think it is.
So that is correct. Adam Driver is the imposter.
I knew it.
but when you said I can't think of anything that Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver have been in, Marriage Story, dude. But it's not Marriage Story. So the film that this cast is representative of is Chef. So Scarlett Johansson, Robert Downey Jr., and Sofia Vergara. Adam Driver is not in Chef. Up next, we have Bradley Cooper, Woody Harrelson, Jack Quaid, and Stanley Tucci.
Well, Stanley Tucci's been in everything. What was it we were saying that Jack Quaid had been in? So it's not Tucci, it's not Jack Quaid. Who's the first one, sorry?
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. Is it Hunger Games?
That is correct, yeah. It is indeed.
I can't stand Hunger Games either.
You can't?
No.
Amy would have something to say to you about that.
Honestly, why is it?
And finally, we have Stephen Graham, Liam Neeson, Cameron Diaz, and Tom Cruise.
What the? I got a Scooby. Tom Cruise, Liam Neeson, and Stephen Graham. I haven't got a clue. I don't think. Liam Neeson, maybe?
So that's incorrect. So the imposter is Tom Cruise. Any idea what the film is? Stephen Graham, Liam Neeson, Cameron Diaz.
No.
So that is Gangs of New York. Martin Scorsese's
that is my bottom. Honestly, my last watch of Gangs of New York, I turned it off after half hour. As soon as Cameron Diaz came into it, I turned it off.
She is not great in that film, to be fair.
Yeah, and I love Scorsese, but yeah, forget about Liam Neeson.
Yeah, he's in it. He's literally in it from the beginning, isn't he?
5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was the end of our games, and that comes to the end of our episode. How did you enjoy Did you enjoy the games, Jay?
Oh, it was more of a prank on me. I'll take it. Oh,
I will say. I know you've watched a lot of films, so the difficulty level on some of those games was not that forgiving. So I do apologize, but hope you managed to have some fun with those.
Oh, yeah, great.
Yeah, we look forward to having you back and playing more games soon at some point as well, for sure. But guys, I'm going to leave all of Mr. Dino Joe Reviews' links down below in the description box. Please do go check out his stuff. Doing fantastic work there. And also, of course, do tune in for Kick for a Cause.
Yes.
I'm going to be talking about that a lot over the coming sort of weeks or so. So you can look forward to all that good stuff. But thank you so much, Joe, for coming and chatting with me about Novocaine, playing some games. It's been super fun. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we will catch you very soon in the next episode of the Popcorn Podcast. Cheers.
Bye.